How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day. Maybe it was the market conditions. Well, you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. So here it comes. How does NASA organize a party? They plan it. Get it? You know, NASA, visiting planets, party plant. So anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is SNDL, Sundial growers. They ended up dropping a press release today, and we're going to be going over it. And I feel like it's very important for anyone who's a shareholder to actually know. So what is the agenda going to be? So for the agenda, we're going to go through that press release. Afterwards, we're going to be doing a technical analysis. You want to see some areas just in case it ends up pulling back. And what do we need to look for if it's going to start making moves to the upside? I think this is very key, whether you have short-term interest in SNDL or long-term interest. And then for the last part, we're going to be checking out the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We want to see what are the institutions up to. Are they buying into SNDL and so forth? This is key, and it does help in regards to knowing what's going on with the overall market sentiment for this stock. So let's get into those videos, and then afterwards I'll give you my final thoughts. So some recent news just came out for SNDL Sundial growers. You could see at 4:05 p.m. So let's go over it. So SNDL announced that it has increased its commitment to Sunstream Bancorp Inc. to $188 million from its previously announced commitment of $100 million. Sunstream is a joint venture between Sundial and the SAF Group that will leverage a strategic financial and operational partnership to target asymmetrically enhanced risk and return opportunities in the cannabis industry to provide exposure to a portfolio of attractive debt, equity, and hybrid investments. Initially, Sunstream expects to form a special opportunities fund with capital from the company and the SAF Group, in addition to commitments from third-party limited partners. Sundial expects to provide an update on the third-party capital commitments within the next 60 days. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SNDL Sundial growers. So let's take a look at its overall performance on the day. So ended up closing at 83 cents, and as you can see what's going down in after hours, it's now at 85 cents, being up 1.81%. As far as fluctuations on the day, tested 83 cents, and as far as the high, 87 cents. So the area that we want to pay attention to as far as for SNDL is seeing how well it can hold up this 83 cent area of support that it's been showing. If you're curious, the chart we're looking at is the 5-day, 5-minute chart. If this area did ever potentially break, which we ended up seeing all the way back here on the 20th, we started seeing it test 81 cents and here over here at 80 cents. So 80 cents being that area of support you want to see hold up. If that area ever did end up breaking, it would get back down into the 70 cents range, which I'll be showing you afterwards when we go over the 3-month chart. So what we can see very clearly right here, we definitely have an area of resistance here right at this 85 cents level. So we ended up getting to 87, but of course we ended up getting knocked back down. So what I'd want to see for next week so SNDL can start looking more bullish is getting above 85 cents, getting to this 86 cents area, because that's definitely an area of resistance. And once we're able to get past this area, we could definitely get over here so where we can get to the 87 cents. And you can see previously in the past, we've been in this particular area already. So that can end up giving us to move to 88. But are we going to be seeing that next week or before the end of the month? It would be great to see, but with the recent news that came out, I'm just kind of assuming that SNDL should probably have a little bit more news, or there should be some catalyst in regards to the industry that might be able to actually move the stock price upwards. If not, then it could definitely has the potential to actually pull back. We're taking a look, and you could see even back here on the 20th of April, when we had the 420, it ended up getting above that $1 range, but then it ended up being sold off to where it is right now. So it's definitely looking bearish on this 5-day, 5-minute. But let's take a look at the 3-month chart very quickly here. So we could see here on this 3-month chart, it's definitely been just consolidating and relaxing in the support area here at the 83 cents. And part of the reasons why I said previously about 77 cents, if you look down here, this is where we have some support, and you can see it, right? 76, 77. So for SNDL to begin to start looking bullish again, it would have to reclaim the 100-day and also the 200-day. So we'd want to see it actually being above $1.20. That is a key level for SNDL, and we already know the $1 level is a key psychological level. It gets past that, it can gain some momentum. But if there's no news or nothing significant doesn't come out, then I do see it doing a retest of this 77 cents area, or we just call that the mid-70s. If this particular area ever did end up breaking, then the next level to look out for would be right here around 68 cents. And you could see down here, down from the RSI, it's definitely been oversold. It is below 50, and that's right 50. We already know that's around fair value. So being below that, you're getting it at somewhat of a discount if you believe in the long-term prospects. But I would be patient with this one because, like I said previously, if they don't have any news coming up that is fairly significant, then I do see some more downward pressure. So we're now on fintel.io, and we're going to take a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for SNDL Sundial growers. When we see the institutional owners, it stands around 71, so not too bad at all. But as we scroll down on the page, we want to see what institutions have been up to recently. So we can see that green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So definitely what it's been looking like as of late, especially from April 9th all the way up till April the 23rd, we can see right here that institutions are definitely seeing Sundial looking bullish for the future going forward at its current price. As far as when we take a look at this is actually great to see, and it gives us a good idea of the long-term prospects of SNDL. We could also see here a big time institution with around 14,500 with an average price at around 72 cents, which is not too far off where it is currently, and where I was saying, hey, there's a potential it could possibly pull back here, so you can actually get in close to the institutional price. We can see this over here at 79 cents from F&Y Investment Advisors. So taking all of this into consideration, especially as of late, all the way, let's just say from April the 19th to the 23rd, it is looking bullish. No institutions have closed any positions, and the one closing a position was back on April the 8th. So the institutions are definitely seeing some bullish sentiment in regards to SNDL, else they wouldn't be investing in the first place. If we take a look now at the short interest, the short volume ratio is at 22%. So we already know if it's 21% and above, there's definitely some short squeeze potential here. So this is looking really good. When we see the short shares availability, it is around 6.3 million, and the short borrow free rate is around 1.26%. If we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, it being at 22.37, we've already seen in the past it's definitely been on the 30 range. You could see here on April the 20th being the most recently, as well as here April the 15th being as high as 35, and on April the 12th being as high as 36.90. So it's definitely going to be interesting, looking forward to how it's going to look like for SNDL. Like I said, if there's no significant news that ends up coming out for this company, then definitely look forward to seeing a pullback in the stock price. But even at the current levels, it's where it's at. If you believe in the long-term prospects, it seems to be a fairly good deal. So for my final thoughts for SNDL Sundial growers in regards to the press release that they came out with today, hey, I need to know more information. Yes, I am a very inquisitive type of a shareholder, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. But before we go on even further, let me just put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So make sure when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So what we know so far, yes, SNDL ended up getting into an agreement with the SAF group to start Sunstream Bancorp. Originally, they invested $100 million. Now they're telling us, hey, we actually upped it to $188 million. In regards to what news we're going to get afterwards, they're saying that the news is going to be coming within the next 60 days in regards to third party and what the arrangement is going to be. So if they're going to be waiting 60 days to give an update, I do see a pullback going on with the overall stock price of SNDL. And that's where I feel like you could really end up getting a better opportunity than looking at the current price now. But am I saying the price of where SNDL right now is it overpriced? No, it's not. It's actually right in at fair value. But another thing to realize, when we were taking a look at the institutional ownership in this video, institutions have been showing interest. And also institutions bought in when it was around the 72-cent range, or this is called the 70-cent range. So if it does pull back to that particular area, at least you're getting in at a price that institutions actually paid for. If you believe in the long-term prospects of SNDL, is there upside from here? Of course. Yes, they have a ton of cash on hand. We know that they're actually using it, but in regards to this deal, I'm hoping that they're using the money so they can actually have a partnership in play, or maybe an acquisition that will show us, hey, is this give them exposure into the international market? I feel like this is very important to know and to ask these questions whenever you're invested in a company. What are you doing to actually grow the business? We already know, hey, in the past, they've made some deals, but they haven't really been moving the needle the way we wanted it to actually move. Nothing of great significance. And this is what I'm expecting. Since they've done a number of offerings and they've raised a good amount of capital, we need to demand, hey, SNDL, within those 60 days, you better give us something that is good as far as making sure that the long-term prospects are looking good, right? You want to invest in companies that have potential. And this also comes down to what I like to say and what I talk about on this channel are the KLTs. Whenever you're investing in a company, you got to know the company, like the company, and trust the company. So when it comes to SNDL, yes, you have capital on hand. You're mentioning you're going to do some acquisitions. You want to get some access into the international markets. We already know they're getting into the edibles, also getting into the vape. So they're definitely expanding in that sense, but what are they doing on an international stage? Ask yourself this and make this of importance if you are a shareholder of SNDL. Does it need to be below $1? A lot of people ask me that question too. Do you think Sundial is actually worth being over $1? And I do. Just because on April the 20th, we had that run up going into it hit around like $1.03, $1.04, and then it ended up selling off. But I do believe as far as the long-term prospects, it should be above $1. Anyone who's actually swing trading this particular stock, you can watch the technical analysis video, but it's one of those cases making sure that you have a stop loss so you can minimize your risk. But long-term, I do see SNDL being over $1, but I also do expect, because I am a shareholder, that whatever news that they drop or whatever type of an acquisition or a partnership that they do, I want it to make a significant impact. Is it going to get him into the US market? That's what I want to know, right? Again, I need to know some more details. So if I have to wait 60 days for that, I don't mind that. I don't mind waiting, because I do believe that SNDL should be over $1 within a year. So that's all I'm asking. SNDL, make sure that whatever you're working on or whatever you have in the pipeline, it's giving you a competitive advantage so you can stand out in this landscape in regards to the cannabis sector. I think it is key because they do have a good amount of competition, and whatever move they make, it has to give them that advantage. That's all I'm asking, and I know a lot of shareholders are asking the same. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be talking real soon.